Okay, so I think we've started. Let me know. I've got the comments open so I can see if people can see me. This is Jennie Breeden with The Devil's Panties, making sure that I've got everything running. We might have lag. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. We'll see. Technology is finicky. I double check everything and I triple check everything, and I actually start like an hour beforehand to make sure I have everything open and ready to run. But I never know until it gets down to it. All right, the chat room is silent. So let me poke around to make sure this is happening. I feel like it should be. Are we live? Question mark. Make sure I pressed all the buttons. I think I've pressed all the buttons. Should be good. Yeah? Anyway. So I'm waiting on somebody to poke me. I am going to be drawing tonight for about an hour or two, depending on how much I draw and depending on how exhausted I get. And I've got a webcomic up at The Devil's Panties. It posts every single day. I have a lot of fun documenting life, my version of life. Sometimes I twist reality just a bit. I don't know if we are up and running, so I'm going to keep poking things. Okay, let's see, all good here. Okay. So let me know if I should turn my volume up, and if anybody has any problems. So I'm going to be answering questions in the YouTube chat room, and if you don't have a YouTube account, I'm also going to keep my Twitter open to try to answer any questions. If you have them on Twitter, just direct them to @JennieBreeden. Let me know, let's see, anywhere else. So far I think it's just going to be Twitter and YouTube where you can ask questions and I'll try to answer them. I don't know where else would be convenient. If you don't have a YouTube account and you don't have a Twitter account, send me an email with suggestions on what to do for next month. I try to do a Ustream once. I try to do a live stream once a month, usually towards the end of the month. And I try to draw stuff and answer questions. And give me a topic because I can ramble. If you have any stories you want to hear or any questions. Okay, so volume sounds like it's good. Well, I don't know if loud and clear means it's on or loud and clear means it's loud enough. So I'm going to start drawing. I don't think we had anybody with, usually what I do, how I do this, is I have a Patreon account. And on patreon.com/Jennie Breeden, I think it is, I have subscribers, and if you're a $10 and over subscriber, you can make suggestions for what I draw. And so once a month I post, okay, we have the live stream ready, send me suggestions. And if you're a patron of mine, then you can make some suggestions, and I will draw those suggestions, even if they're a little odd, especially if they're a little odd. Okay, I think I'm good. Let's see. Serenity says, I'd like you to cause Facebook alerts are loud as heck at the moment. No, I don't know what that means. I'd like you to cause Facebook. Could you use more words? I'm really bad with abbreviations, which makes me old, because I insist on, when I text, I insist on writing everything out. Although I love the Sleepy Hollow episode where he's texting and he's doing this big long letter in the traditional style. Sometimes I feel like texting like that. Let's see. Patron refreshes, question mark. I'll go check Patron to see if it's refreshed. Okay, let's see. I am going to poke this over here a little bit, and then we will get to drawing. So I have a convention coming up that's Gen Con, but I think it's like in 2 months. Next week I'm going on my family beach trip. And that is usually special. It gives me a lot of cartoon ideas. I didn't quite get out of a speeding ticket per se. I totally got out of a speeding ticket. And I always have the cops will ask me, because on the back of my car I have thedevilspanties.com in giant text. And I've had cops ask me, so what exactly does that mean? And I said, Noelle, it's not as naughty as it sounds. It's actually a journal comic. And so the one time that I got pulled over, I had one of my books on the seat next to me, and I pulled it up and I said, oh, see, it's about going to the beach with my family and flying kites, because that's wholesome. And he was like, okay, you're not skeezy-ish. So I am going to double check Patreon, to see if, looks like we only have one person commented on the live stream June 25th comment, which is a question to get the wallpaper going for next month, but I still need a suggestion from the Patreons. Okay. Okay. So Obi was a little stressed because I really wanted him to put the Angel Girl in the store because we have Angel Girls, and we wanted to get them out to the Kickstarter subscribers first, to the donations, to make sure that they were fulfilled. And we sent out our last batch today to the overseas guys. I still have 2 more that I have to finish. And then everyone should have gotten their angel. So then we put it up in the store. And so everyone can get an angel if they want them. And they're so soft. Oh my god. I might have disrobed this one a little bit, but it's so soft. Anyway. Alright, I am going to put these here. Alright. Okay, so Obi wants me to draw some more buffer. I have so much buffer, oh my god, I feel like I am so rich in buffer. Because I usually before I travel, I get a huge buffer together so I don't have to draw while I travel. And so I have like 2 weeks of buffer done. So I could, I could draw some of book 8's bonus stuff. I really wanted my iPad to have, okay, well that's just not working. Alright, that's a fail. That's a fail right there. Ooh, maybe that, no. Okay, this is not amusing anymore. So I should just close this and not worry about that. Alright, so in that case, I am going to pull up some of the comics that I was working on. Yes. Yeah, so you're probably going to see the full process here. Let me pull up some files that are not... Okay. I'm sorry, but my brain only has space for one activity. And I was on a scallywag thing, and they kept asking me questions while I was drawing, and it was really hard for me to tell stories and answer questions while I was trying to figure out line work. And so I am easily distracted. Okay, comics, bonus comics, Cliff Notes, no. Originals, there we go. As I dig through my files, extras, there we go. The first one, that one's not funny, that one's not funny. That one's kind of funny. That one's alright. Ooh, this one's good. Okay. I'm going to open 11. Okay, I'm going to open all of these. Okay. So I'll usually draw like 3 comics on a page in little stick figures, and I'll hand the page to my husband, which I actually have spoilers for next month. So I penciled these out at the coffee shop today. They're, you know, we've got Evernote, and we'll put cartoon ideas when they happen. We'll pull up Evernote on whatever electronics we have at hand, and we'll type out our cartoon idea. And then I went to the coffee shop and I pulled up Evernote, and I found all of the different notes that Obi had put in there, and I went through and I made little stick figures of it. And then I hand him these and I say, okay, honey, which ones are funny? Poor man. And he'll put an X next to ones that really aren't funny, and he'll put a check mark next to ones that are funny, and he'll put a little squiggle next to the ones that are okay. And so the ones with the check marks goes up on the comic on the website, and the ones with the X's go in a file in the back of my computer forever. And I've pulled up the ones from last year, the ones that didn't quite make it into the comic, and I'm going to be putting them into book 8 as we put them together. So now I have to go and draw all of those. Some of them follow the story arc. So if I'm at the Renaissance Festival, I've got a pile of Renaissance Festival comics that didn't make it to the comic because they weren't quite as funny. So we're going to be putting those into book 8. So here is a comic. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here we go. All right. So this is the stick figure sketch that I did like June, a year ago. So a year ago on the 11th, I did this stick figure comic, and it was meh. It wasn't a bit as funny. So today, I sketched it out. And so now I actually did a Google image search for restaurant menu so I can get a little bit better background and stuff. After watching Lars' sketch days on Livestream on Fridays, he's kind of lit a fire under my ass to try to get my art better to the next level. I kind of fall into this, well, you know, whatever, I'll just do the basics, which I'm starting to look around at other artists and go, shit, I can't do the basics. I have to up my game a little bit. So I've been trying to do better backgrounds, more dynamic camera angles. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy it, and I have a template that I use. And so I've got this file. Let's see, this layer is pencil. Paste that into there. And then, oh, where are you? You're not background copy, you're pencil. Okay, pencil, come here. There we go. Size it up here. All right. And now I have to get the text right. Let me pull up notes. Yeah, that looks good-ish. No, that's not what I wanted. Actually, I want text. Something that'll give me spell check. Ooh, no. Oh no. Oh no. Bear with me. Quit this. I don't want previews. I want a text file. How to video. Yeah, take notes with this shit. Okay, file, new. There we go. All right, how did I have this? Close, close, close. Pull that over here. What was the dialogue? There we go. All right, I've lost things. All right. Let's make sure, no, dang, nabbit. It's smaller so I can read all of it. Okay. Instead of French fries, I think there's a comma. We could get mixed fruit. This is my endless struggle to try to, I don't necessarily want to, like, lose weight health-wise and shit like that. I just want to make sure that I watch my intake, because I would like to live a long time without pain in my joints and make sure that I can still walk and heart pump blood when I'm 80. So you guys get as many comics as possible. Let's have French fries. That's healthy. Healthy. Maybe exclamation point. Smothered in, I wonder how you spell Haagen-Dazs. Das. Sorbet. I can't remember what restaurant we were at, but they really did have a side of fruit smothered in sorbet. I think I ended up getting it. Comes smothered in Haagen-Dazs. That is not healthy. Angel is upset with me. I'll take that one. It says devil. I think I spelled Haagen-Dazs right, but I don't think I spelled sorbet right. I'm gonna ask the internet. Okay, the chat room looks like they have abandoned me. Guys, still breathing? Just to check. Poking you a little bit, making sure that it's not on my end. Okay. Looks like patrons are still negative. Okay, Googling Haagen-Dazs. Oh, there's a Z in it. Sorbet, there's a T in sorbet because, of course. There's 2 A's. Holy crap. There is no way. There's a Z and an S? This is ridiculous. This is friggin' ridiculous. Haagen-Dazs. D-A-S? D-A-Z-S. Holy crap. Alright, this is getting special. Okay. And whatever has the most Google hits wins. Only 11,000 results? Makes me suspect. But they have images, so that must be right. Hagen dash. Is it dash? I'm going to look at the actual image. I don't believe them. Give me a picture. Oh, there is a dash. Well, that's just crazy talk. D-A-Z-S. See, the phonetic dyslexics of the world need to take over, and so they can beat some logic into the American language, along with some other stuff. Okay, so we're going to go over to... Manga Studios is special when it comes to text. So we're just going to... I've got my own font, which I need to redraw. Medium sounds good? No, I like Devil's Panties regular. Yeah, I like regular more. Okay, instead of French fries, oh, make this... Yeah, no, that's good. French fries, we could get mixed fruit. Okay. Make sure I get this specialness. Okay, I think everybody has died. My comment section, which should have 8 people in it, looks slightly dead in the water. Oh, good. Oh, everything just went nuts. Okay, now it caught up. Dang nabbit! You guys have been talking. Hello, Celtic Knot. Awesome, glad you got here. Ooh, Old Blighty. Celtic Knot does... I hesitate to ask what country Old Blighty refers to, because I feel like I'm going to offend somebody if I guess. And draw, question mark from Serenity, let's see. Yeah, sorbet. I bet they actually said sorbet at one point in time, because somebody said that the way it's spelled, that usually means they pronounced it when it first started, but they wanted to be special. I think they rewrote a lot of the text and threw in some silent shit just to be fancy. Let's see. Frostfire, loquacious. I don't. It sounds naughty. Frostfire said, I'm just not loquacious. I feel like I need to use that word in a sentence at some point in time. That and orgasmic. I like orgasmic as well as a descriptive word. Oh, there seems to be lag. Okay, my apology for lag. Serenity is fantastic. Serenity has said, the English language boat has shipped, sunk, and we're currently trying to uncover its treasures. What was it? Something about a quote about following the English language down into back alley, or English language follows other languages down into back alleys and then mugs them and rifles through their pockets for other diction or something. Let me adjust this text a little bit. Needs to be closer together. Squish. Squishing your head. I am squishing your head. I am squishing your head. I am rubbing you out. I am rubbing you out. Because Kids in the Hall was fantastic. They are the Canadian Monty Python. Let's see. It comes smothered. Haagen-Dazs needs its own line. Okay. Loquacious is not talkative. Excellent. I shall try to be loquacious at my family dinners because they remember what I say and then hold it against me. Okay, that's not healthy. I have to get that to sit not healthy on its own. Okay, so Celtic Knot said, oh, I normally say Celtic. Is it supposed to be Celtic or Celtic? Well, I mean, so I read phonetically. We had, we read a book in 5th grade called The Key. It was a kid and a guy are stranded on a desert island, and they had me read once. And I got to the word, and it's grueling when I read out loud in school because I sound everything out, so it takes me a long time to read. I wanted line spacing to be closer. So in this book, it was on a desert island. So at one point I came across the word island and had to spell it out. And oh my God, after the laughter subsided, island is not what it's supposed to be. So I will sound it out phonetically when I first read it. So my apology for the Celtic part. I'm just getting my mouth around it. All right, this is not going to fit. No, there we go. Most of the time is taken with setting all of this up. Make sure I have all of the text. There we go. Take that. That one should be bold. Bold. My computer really doesn't like streaming video. I'll close some of this. Oh, I should leave open Haagen-Dazs so I can get those 2 little dots. Okay, Celtic, thank you. Celtic. Loquacious, adjective. Talkative, tending to talk too much, wordy. Okay, so I will try not to be loquacious. I usually am loquacious, though. That sounds so naughty. Okay, that is not bold, healthy. Not healthy. Comes smothered. I think smothered looks like it should be bold. Trying to get diction. Instead of French fries, we could get mixed fruit. I think French and fruit sounds like it's bold. Instead of French fries, we could get mixed fruit. I always got frustrated with comic books, and I don't think they still do this, but in the late 80s, early 90s, they would bold like every third word, so it sounded weird. Instead of French fries, we could get mixed fruit. Okay, that sounds good. And the angel likes this, bold, healthy. Becomes smothered in Haagen-Dazs. Not healthy, I'll take that one. Okay, make sure I can get these on the same line. Yeah, that looks good. All right, let's flatten so I can move this shit around. Come on, there we go. Okay, let's see. Calvin. Sorry, I'm reading through some of these, and I'm trying to figure out. Celtic Knot said, I assumed it was due to the basketball team, hockey team. You might be referring to today's comic with Wobbly Pop. I was told that Wobbly Pop is actually was due to, there was a sports dude who called it Wobbly Pop, and then everybody started calling it Wobbly Pop. But I've had a couple of people on the forums say that they know a lot of people who call it Wobbly Pop. But I really like the idea that it's a Doctor Who thing with a wibbly wobbly pop. Okay, placing this, and then I'm going to slap some word balloons on it. And I know that Manga Studios has some automatic word balloon features, but I really like my wonky word balloons more. And I should practice. I need to cheat a little bit and squeeze this in here. Oh, no, no, no. Let me stretch it. Let me stretch it. I need to work with Manga Studios to get it to do things I'm not used to doing. But it seems like work. Okay. Make sure I can fit my word balloons in here. There we go. A little bit, a little more. Angel is very upset. So she gets a little bit larger text. Okay. Alright, so Obi suggested that the last line should be, great, I'll take two. Alright, so that's the devil girl talking. So we're going to put, I'm going to have to adjust the freaking text again. Great. Oh, comma. I'll take two. Alright, I actually have Devil's Panties regular font is a little bit wider than Devil's Panties medium font, so I'm using medium font, and so I can try to squeeze it into the word balloon. And I need to get this spaced right. Spacing. The fun and exciting world of webcomics. Okay, I do think great should be bold. Beanie. Okay, so let me see if I can get this down a little bit so I can get this the word balloons in there. I think that looks about right. Let me see if putting I'll take both on the same line gets it squinched. It looks okay. A little bit more squinched. Yes, yes, that works. All right. Let's see, Celtic not suggested. Language in the two, would it be better to match the language in the two statements that is healthy, that is not healthy, that is not, I think I did I? Oh, you're right, that's healthy, you're right, I should totally do that. I'm going to do that is healthy. Let's see, that is healthy. Okay, that sounds right. Now I need to adjust some of this so I don't have to keep, if I copy it, I don't have to redo it every time. So let's do regular to match that up. And then let's bold this. I could just slap is in there. I'm gonna do that. Watch me be lazy. Flatten, flatten. Delete. Move. Husband is helping edit from the other room. That is healthy. Okay, that looks about right. Scooch that in. All right, delete. Okay. Oh, the Boston Celts, New England Celts. Oh, the New England accent would be Celtics. Yeah, I think some people do Celtics. It's Celts. And then Serenity is just being mean, listing banana chips and cornflower blossoms. Okay, let's see. Okay, focus. I can do this. So it looks like we've got, yeah, we've got the dialogue down. And I think I'm gonna move these pencils down a little bit so I don't have the girls running into the word balloons. I love breaking a word balloon, which I think her halo is going to break the word balloon, but I want to make sure that they're not squinched. It's a good spacing, that's a good spacing, okay. Okay, I think that's good. I'm going to lock that layer so I don't draw on it, because that sucks when you get halfway through the comic and realize you've been drawing on your pencils. Ridiculous. I have to go back and redo everything. Okay, so now it's the moment of truth on whether or not I have lag in the comic. I get these. It seems to be hypersensitive now that I have this other screen. I have a monitor open. Oh, I need to fix Haagen-Dazs. Woo! It's not a lag, it just seems like it's hypersensitive. It's like driving a sports car for the first time. You're not quite used to the brake and the gas. My poor fix-it shop, they gave me a rental because my car was going to take longer than they thought, and I sat in the parking lot for about 20 minutes making sure that I got the mirrors right, and I got, make sure that I don't, if tail's going that way, I want to make sure the next tail is going the opposite direction because I like variety. Nope. So my fix-it guy asked if I was okay because I was sitting there for like 20 minutes. I said, oh no, I just want to make sure that I know where the lights are and the windshield wipers and everything, because you don't want to be driving down the road and have to search for that kind of thing. Okay, her word balloon is going to be very upset. And I need to go put the little dinks on the Haagen-Dazs. I'll take 2. Which the Devil Girl, they're both the same body type, the Angel and the Devil. It's just the Angel doesn't wear a bra, and the Devil Girl pads her bustier. There was a Stephanie Plum book. She's a bounty hunter and falls on her butt every once in a while. And she's going to try to get information out of somebody. And so she takes these 2 Nerf balls and puts them in her bra to give herself a poor man's boost Wonder Bra. And so I always think that the Devil Girl puts Nerf balls in her corset. I'm going to pull this Haagen-Dazs down a little bit so I have space for the... There's probably a word for the 2 little banks. Let's see. Who? Serenity. Sorry, I don't... Okay. Making sure that people aren't asking me questions that I'm not answering in the comment section. Okay, so the first A has 2 dots. Okay, I think that looks right. Make sure that I don't give the internet fodder to come critique me with. And save, because holy crap, I've done a lot of work without saving. Let that save. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Ink. So I've got the kilt blowing for DragonCon, which is in like 2 months. And we've got the form all set up for people to sign up for the kilt blowing, because the poor ladies at the front door, making sure that they can get everybody through, we make sure that all of the guys sign release forms. And so we've got the release form up online, and also we get so many people show up, we want to make sure that we try to get to everybody, but we don't always make it. So we've had a lot of people say that that it's fun, but it gets repetitive, because once you see one guy in a kilt, you've seen them all. It's just bullshit. And so we're trying to get the guys to this is really sensitive. We're trying to get the guys to show up in costumes so that it is as entertaining as possible, because it is so much more entertaining to blow. Guys, you're wonderfully entertaining to blow, but if you're dressed as like one of the doctors, that's more entertaining. Which we have found that it doesn't matter. There was a guy showed up who was ripped, so like a professional bodybuilder or some shit. Looked amazing. The girls were all woohoo, and then the Goblin King showed up, and the girls friggin' lost it. So yeah, we are much more interested in fandoms than we are in traditional body types. This is very delicate. Having trouble controlling my nib, which is pretty much every Ustream that I do. I always complain about controlling my nib. It's difficult to control. Alright, well, this nose is just going to have to be funky. Alright. I'm going to poke this a little bit because it looks like I'm a little behind on the chat room. Maybe. There it goes. Just had to poke it. Alright, I got Haagen-Dazs. There we are. Alright. I'm going to minimize this and see if that helps. Pardon. Alright, no Twitter stuff. Okay. Make sure that I'm keeping up with everything. Okay, so the 2 dots is a Oh, I don't know if I can pronounce that. Diacritical mark. It's not as hard as I thought. Diacritical. 2 dots above a vowel indicating a change in the sound of a vowel. Vowel altered in such a way. Häagen-Dazs. Häagen-Dazs? We know it's supposed to be Häagen-Dazs, I think. What do we think? Dutch? I don't like those lines. We'll take them away because undo is amazing. Okay, so I need to go through the menu, the kilt blowing. Oh, I don't like that. To make sure that the form is all filled, is all ready to go. The form is almost ready to go. We have to make sure that it gets to the right email address that people can respond to it. And then I'm going to post it to the public, and so people can go and fill out a form to come be blown at the kilt blowing. Now, I'm sorry, ladies. I only do guys. Or guy-looking people. I also did a guy who looked like a girl. So I think I'm trying to be general enough to include everyone who identifies as a guy. The whole thing, though, is trying to make sure that us ladies get a little bit of our perv on as well, because there is enough opportunities for girls to be exhibitionists, but there's not as much opportunity for guys to be exhibitionists-ish. And an area where women can go and be a little debaucherous. Poor husband. It lands on his birthday every year. I think I might have to ask to have it like Sunday night or something. He puts up with a lot. Let's see, make sure that I'm answering everything. Oh, Susan Booth lives in the UK, so she can't see the actual kilt blowing, but there's always YouTube. And YouTube shows, like, you know, you get to skip to the good parts. It's mostly just very noisy. Okay, water glass showing that we're in a fancy restaurant. So that looks more like a wine glass. Okay. Phil is my friend. Of course, I've just vetoed the fancy restaurant atmosphere by putting paper napkin holder on the table. But I do what I want, because I'm lazy. There's a difference going to Jenny's thing. Yeah. So apparently the guys have to be sober enough to sign the release form, but I've found out that after they sign the release form, they immediately start doing shots because it takes a lot of liquid courage to get up on that stage, which I didn't fully appreciate until I went to a convention where they were going to auction off the guests. And so they auctioned me off. Wow, that's a lot more terrifying when you're not behind the leaf blower. Make sure I get some of the condiments onto the table. These are going to be fancy condiments. Okay, thick lines for foreground. And then I need to get thinner lines in the background to get a good receding illusion of recession. No. Because I want to create space. So I'm going to go over and use a different tool. Give me a marker, kind of small. Too small. Get about I used to use microns. No, that didn't seem to work. Oh, okay. Susan's got me on this one. She says she saw me blow Lorica Hamilton, and I did make an exception because I think that everyone should try at least once in their lives to see if they like. You got to try everything once just to see if you like it, because you never know until you try it. Wow, this is about, that's a little retarded. I'm just gonna leave that there. I mean, sorry, shouldn't use retarded. Afflicted? I think that might be just as derogatory. Messed up. Yes, messed up I think is safe. Okay. Where I watch some of the other guys' stuff, they make it look so easy. So, going outside of my comfort zone. Okay, so then the kilt blowing. Let's see. David Blake said the nibbly bits are so sensitive. Yes, they usually are when done right. Alright, so then I'm going to bring this down to a 5. So I used to use microns, and I found a 001, and I used that for the really far back details. And then I used a 1 or a 3 for midground, and then 5 for foreground. The lines should be thicker the closer to the camera that they get. Okay, and then there's a pretty pattern on this booth, because fancy restaurant. Put in a bunch of different textures. The chat room just went nuts. I think it's caught up with itself. Let's see if I can draw and read at the same time. I bet probably not. Oh, probably not. Oh, suddenly lag. Ooh, sorry guys. Devote 2/3 of your... So there's a balance between advancing the plot and experimentation. In a lot of the different panels that I'm on, I try to balance it with information and entertainment, and it's very difficult to do both. Okay. I feel like there should be more booth over here. Nope, that just looks like scribble. Alright, make sure I have enough stuff in the background. So I had a professor who talked about filet mignon and mashed potatoes. You want to make sure that you have some detail, some basic detail. Oh, come back, they want to say hi. Oh, I had somebody check in on me. I am not subtle. Sometimes people around me try to be subtle, and it doesn't go well because I don't pick up on subtlety. Okay, let's see. Oh, I saw that. Ooh, Frostfire saw the thing where I was auctioned off. I think I've been auctioned off a couple of times. Make sure that I've got enough texture. I feel like the table could have shading. I feel like I've been auctioned off like twice. And I've done cartoons about both of them. And yeah, I helped auction off Garth, who he used to do Comedity, and now he's doing, I think, Star Power with Mookie, which is kind of neat. Oh, here's some table. Okay, I feel like that. Okay, so filet mignon and mashed potatoes. So this is highly detailed filet mignon. And then we're going to go over to very simple mashed potatoes, because you don't want to have an entire meal of filet mignon, even though I do and have when I worked at a country club. If you worked in banquets, then you got to take home the leftovers. And so sometimes I would bring home these handmade chocolates and discs of filet mignon and and I'd munch on it, reach into the refrigerator and pull out a filet mignon and just munch on it standing in front of the refrigerator. Wow, that eye is messed up. Cold, chunks of cold meat. But yeah, you try to balance out the detailed art with some really basic art. That eye is slightly less messed up. So I got to go overseas at one point, and we had a bunch of Italian police officers, off-duty Italian police officers. Sorry, honey. They came to hang out with us. We were in I can't remember, we were in a bar or something, and one of them said he was going to be stationed in England, and he wanted to ask us what words he shouldn't say, that he should watch out for. And I was like, well, the British words are a little different than slang than the American, but I had just been reading, I want to say Nemi, or maybe it was Hothead Paisan, and I picked up on a couple of them, some of the hand gestures, and we gave him a couple. I don't even remember. God, this was back in maybe 99 or 2000, which doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but was actually like 15 years ago. Holy crap, when I say it out loud, it's horrifying. And so yeah, I don't remember if it was, I feel like it was a bar. It was my friend Lessa, who was a roommate of mine in college, and then we were with this other girl who was blonde and covered in tattoos. And the Italian police officers, off duty, started asking us how many tattoos and piercings we had. And the blonde girl who had tattoos all the way from like up one arm, on her neck, across her back, and down one side of her body and down her leg. And she was like, oh yeah, I've got like 50 tattoos and 18 piercings. And they turned to Lessa, and she was like, oh, I've got 5 piercings and 4 tattoos. She's got the Southern Oracle from Neverending Story, which is the 2 sphinxes facing each other. She's got that on her lower back. It looks awesome, nipples and all. And then they turned to me and said, how many piercings and tattoos do you have? And I said, well, I have no piercings and no tattoos. I actually got my ears pierced when I was 15 and took the studs out too early, and they filled back in. So I am actually not pierced or tattooed whatsoever. And they all were amazed by that. There's been a couple of times in my life when I stand out more because I'm actually quite vanilla. So it was more shocking that I wasn't pierced and tattooed than if I was. I always said that if I was going to get a tattoo, I'd get it of a freckle. So I could say that I was tattooed, but you'd have to find it. It was going to be a pickup line, okay? But now it's going to be a moot point. I could always go get one done and then tell husband that he had to try to find it. And then just never tell him where it was. Okay, so I have been lax on my chat room. Okay, Sudden Lag, Gloria Hamilton. Yes, I blew her a couple of times. Oh, I hope it didn't blank out for everyone. Oh, how long did it blank out? Because I've been talking for a long time. Oh, oh. I don't, I'm going to open this up and make sure that I can look. Can I look? Husband would tell me. It says that it's still streaming. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Frostfire says that I was sold for $700, and that was kind of, I could only do that once. That was 2 people pooled their money for that one. Oh, so is it still, I hope it's not still. Frozen. I'm going to ask. Let me see. What was the last thing you heard? I've been rambling. Story time. Talking about Italian police. Wow, that is not how you spell Italian. Italian police. Tattoos. Two T's, two O's? Oh, that does not look right. Looks ridiculous. Okay. Maybe I'll continue. Thank you guys for bearing with me. And so it looks like it's still a little lagged as far as the comment section. Okay. Obi says the stream is fine, so I think we're good. Oh, it got unclogged. Holy crap. Serenity says that Obi would probably notice my new tattoo. But hey, if it was a freckle, I have sporadic freckles. So, you wouldn't, you know, I could hide one. Okay, coming. It's unclogged and it's all just coming. Individual connections seem to be stuck. Okay. Ooh, Serenity was out since the Laura Hamilton comment. Well, you just have to go back and watch the recording because there was many stories about Italians and tattoos and piercings. Okay, so but then David hasn't had a skip, so okay, I think we're good. Freckle tattoo. Okay. Okay. I think we're good. Serenity says it's balance between entertaining and informative was the last thing before it came back to the cops. I think you're good. I think that's about. I actually completely forget what I talked about between those two things. Okay, I think I'm getting a hang of this change in nib speed. I'm getting used to my new car is what's happening here. Okay, which I might have to, by the end of this, I might have to go back and redraw that nose to draw more of I'm not wearing a bra boob. That looks closer to I'm not wearing a bra boob. Oh, save early, save often. So I kind of figured that the chat would be less lag than the video. So when that kind of intentionally spelled out the Italian, knowing that you probably were going to be reading it before I was spelling it. We are bending space and time. Okay. I've got my look of surprise, which should be bigger ears, because big ears for me shows innocence. And then I'm going to have the hair slightly fuzzed as if the internal struggle has kind of poofed my hair a little bit. No, bigger. Which I like, because my hair actually doesn't look anything like this. It did once in college. Had a bob, and then when I was 26, I'd grown my hair out. When I was 26, I cut it short, and it decided to be curly all of a sudden, which is my dad's side of the family. So, some reason, waited until I was 26 before those genes kicked in. Which, the irony is that my sisters and I used to, baby sister and I would put curlers in her hair to try to get her hair curly, and then my sister who has curly hair would use a flat iron, or we had a crimping iron. She would take all the crimps off and try to flatten her hair. So you always want what you don't have. And then I missed out, which I need to go back and watch. Lar had, he was doing kilted heroes. He was doing a kilted Loki. And I sat in, I watched him do that on Ustream at one point, and since we were talking about kilts, he was like, oh god, I need to draw Jenny in her kilt. So I sent him a huge amount of pictures. And then I missed the stream, but he had live streamed him drawing me with my leaf blower in a kilt, in a tartan. It was awesome. In a full sporan, I think. No, the sporan's the thing that hangs. I think full tartan is when it's totally draped. And there's probably a different word for draping the ladies. That sounds like a bad position. Drape, what you doing? I'm draping the ladies. Okay, just trying to make this look like it's a cloth napkin silverware roll. I went to speech therapy to get my R's right. Sometimes I lose it when I try to say roll. There's all this tongue action going on for R's. It's just ridiculous. I went to about a year's worth of speech therapy to try to figure out that invisible tongue action. That's gonna be my band name. Invisible tongue action. Oh, maybe that's what not to say in the bedroom. Invisible tongue action. Okay. Evernote. I probably shouldn't open this here. No spoilers. New idea. What not to say. Invisible tongue action. Is there some kind of visible tongue action going on, or what? Save. Okay. So anyway, back to the art. Save early, save often. Let's see, then. Yeah, Samantha says Celtic Loki. Oh my god. It's probably on Lars' sketch pad or something. He did a Thor in a kilt. That was okay. Loki in a kilt was hotter. Okay. Okay, so we got the leg. Serenity says that they have a problem with Serenity symmetry, which I have a really hard, when I started out, had a hard time drawing two of the same thing, like a character looking like themselves twice. So it's just repetition that learns you that. Okay. Let's see, make sure I get this filled in. Got all this, got that. I should probably, I have the menu going under the placemat, which is probably not accurate. So Serenity says that they had an interesting conversation at my LARP. I thought you meant laptop for some reason. LARP with a dwarf. I thought you had an interesting conversation at your laptop. I don't know why I read LARP as laptop with a dwarf. So the difference between a kilt and a skirt is that a skirt, you're wearing underwear. And I know for a fact that none of the guys at the kilt blowing have skirts on. Seen so many hairy man balls. Which really is not attractive. No, I want to go out. There we go. Out. Oh, I forgot her halo. And wings. Ah, oh, you people, I'm very distracted. I'm gonna blame you, is what's going on here. Because I start talking, and then I'm not paying attention to drawing. And then sometimes I totally get into drawing and just zone out with the talking. Her forehead looks weird. That's a little better. A little less. Alright. Man, I'm trying to make some games for book 8. And I've got these shape coloring things going on. And it's really hard to put together because I want to make sure it's a whole bunch of shapes. And you're supposed to color in specific ones. Specific shapes, specific colors. And so it eventually shows a figure out of them. So I've been trying to make the shapes confusing enough that you can't automatically recognize that it's an angel or a devil or a pretty princess. Which is way harder than I thought it was going to be. Alright, so now I'm going to switch to a smaller nib so I can try to get some separation of textures. Because Lar is awesome and he has stepped up the bar and I need to draw better. Yeah. So I have I have a detailed panel right after a simple panel. So I try not to have two detailed panels next to each other. Okay. And trying to make sure I've got a bunch of different gradients, even though I'm being sloppy as all crap. I would get an F in college if I handed this in, because it's obviously sloppy. But no, it's textured. It's not sloppy. It's variation. Yeah, what else can I pull out of my ass for this? Oh, and at which point, I'd usually be listening to a book on tape. So I've got Audibles, and I've found these 3 books that it's something like Love Sucks or Bite Me or something. It's this awesome writer, and he's got vampires, but it's very humorous. Because the lady who gets turned is a redhead, and she's like, God damn it, I miss French fries. It's part of my people's DNA. If we don't have potatoes at least once a week, we start getting nervous. And so she figures out as a vampire how to put blood on the French fries, and so she can have French fries. And coffee. And so usually by this point in the drawing process, I would be totally tuned out and listening to a book on tape and would just sit here and draw every little line in this fancy pants, make sure I have a space around the figure, booth at this restaurant that puts sorbet on its side dishes, which is a little bit odd. Okay, keeping up with comments. Okay, based on a Serenity LARP. Nice. Man, I like LARP. You gotta go with a good group of friends, though, because it's only as entertaining as you and your friends will make it. I mean, usually you try to go with a big enough LARP where a lot of stuff's going on. But it's really up to you to make it fun. You get what you want out of it. And so I've had a lot more fun now that I've created a character that it just... I like playing a character that's supposed to be really stupid, so when I don't get something, I can just be like, oh no, I'm acting. Okay. Trying not to say as much. There we go, that looks about right. And save. So Celtic Knot says, couldn't you just bite somebody who works at McDonald's? She does end up biting a homeless guy who's really drunk, and then she spends the next night drunk. So I think that's how they figured out that they could adjust things. Sometimes sloppy is awesome. Yes, sloppy sex is fantastic. I mean, so yeah, sloppy art is sometimes just, you know, aesthetic. It's an aesthetic. Okay, I think that I had a texture to this table, so let me see if I can make sure that I get all of this in. And I wish I had another head so I could read the comments while I do this. Call me Beeblebrox. Some friends in college in 1998 in the dorms said, hey, you should totally watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And I said, okay, and we sit down to watch it, and I didn't know that it was a TV show, and we ended up watching the entire TV show in one sitting, which is like 14 hours. And about the 10th hour, I went, wow, this is a really long movie. Because I'm an idiot. I'm also the one that said, hey, I want to play Dungeons & Dragons, and they said, okay, get a sleeping bag and a costume and meet us in the parking lot. And I said, okay. And we get in an SUV and start driving, and oh my god, the fact that I haven't been kidnapped so much earlier is ridiculous. Because about 2 hours into the drive in a random person's SUV, I went, so where are we going? And they took me into the woods and gave me a padded stick and said, hunt down your friends. And I said, okay. And then I could never switch to tabletop, because when you start off with live action, it's really hard to sit there and roll a freaking dice and say, I want to hit the monster. No, I'm going to hide in the bushes for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to jump out and make the monster pee his pants. Which is so much fun to do. Save. Okay. Speaking of vampires, you used to intern at White Wolf. Yeah, that was the year before I started the comic. That was the year so that was 2000. I was interning at White Wolf and working at Mellow Mushroom, and I also had a job at Five Seasons Brewery, which is why, you know, I got the first year's worth of comics out of that one summer, because holy crap. And they were awesome. White Wolf took me to my first Dragon Con. It's fantastic. I said, these are my people. I want to do this. Hey, Celtic Knot, you cheat. LARPing in the UK. You've got like 1,800 people at the one LARP. Somebody sent me pictures of some of the LARPs that they have in like the Netherlands and shit. There's this one guy, I was starting to put together my orc makeup, and he was like, don't half-ass it. And he shows a guy who looks pretty decent for an American LARP. And then he shows some guys who look like they walked off of the set of The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings. That was the one where they had the big orc dudes. Gray, weird-looking things. Make sure that I get this fist. And my orc is kind of half-assed it. I am upset that they stole my... We had a break-in, and the break-in the week before had already stolen all the good stuff. And so when the guy broke in again, he was like, well, crap, there's no more things to steal. I'll just take this duffel bag. There's bound to be something good in this overstuffed duffel bag. But no, it was my LARP gear. So it was a bloodied dress that was covered in mud because it was my orc costume. And there was a stuffed possum, which, oh my god, stuffed animals are like $30. I can't afford to buy a new one every time. Which I had already lost like 2 of them before, so there was Princess Stinky the Fifth. And there was some shackles in the duffel bag. And a wine flask. And we didn't have any trouble for a while after that when they found rusted shackles and a bloody dress in a duffel. Okay, save. Let's see. Okay, well this, what's this? Come here. Come. Oh, I'm looking at the reflection of the mouse, thinking it's the actual mouse. Okay, so, Serenity, as much as... Okay, well, I'm not good at multitasking. Brain can only process so much at a time. Serenity's being nice about my flakiness. Okay. And then... Yeah, Giba's had the story on how I had found LARP. Ooh, I did hear that Pearl Jam did a cover of Let It Go. Yeah, and we decided that the snowman in Frozen is awesome. He made the movie. He is the best comic relief that I think I have ever seen. So Serenity's thinking of debating between Orc and Dark Elf. I like Orc because you can be a little bit more ridiculous. Even though Orcs are a little bit more violent, Dark Elves seem to be just very brooding. You can be indignant, but you can quietly fuck with people as a Dark Elf. Although, Dark Elf, out of context, kind of blackface. I'm just saying. It's you gotta be careful because I mean, yeah, okay, you got this white hair but this black makeup on. So we had a party in Savannah at one point, and we had invited a bunch of people, not realizing there was a LARP on. And apparently, some of the people were like, "Hey, we're really bored tonight. Let's just go to their party in Savannah." And so we started having elves show up. You know, people didn't change out of their costumes. They just showed up at our house in downtown Savannah, Georgia. And I don't think we started joking about, oh God, we hope a dark elf doesn't show up, because out of context, really hard to explain that shit. And then, make sure I got the Tita's in there. She totally pads. Even though her hand is behind her arm, it's in front of her wing, which doesn't make any sense. But art drawing very rarely makes sense. Yeah, the wing is going to make it cluttered. I really like that when the angel gets upset, she starts molting. So I try to put in little feathers dropping down. Okay, got that, got this, and feathers. Ooh, we're already at the end of it. Coming up on 10 o'clock, so I'm going to color this, and then we're going to be about done. So if you have any questions, start them off, Jenny, and then questions, so I can try to pick them up on the chat room. Glancing over again. Oh, Susan, you're right. You cheat because you've got a bunch of real castles to LARP in. Yeah, yeah. When I got to go to England, a bunch of readers showed up and they were like, "We need to take you to this pub because it's been a pub for longer than your country has existed." Which I had just bought a house and I was doing 50-year maintenance on it. You know, making sure I had to replace the roof and the AC unit and do some maintenance to it. And I was looking around going, oh my God, what kind of maintenance do you guys do to a 200-year-old building? Oh, I forgot to put in the hair shading. So long ago in the before time, in like 2002 maybe. I can't believe that's long ago. Anything with 2000 in it is not long ago. Randy Mulholland of Something Positive was like, hey, is it okay that I put you in the background of one of my comics? And I was like, yeah. And so he sent the link to me, and he's like, okay, I put you in the background. And I was looking, and I was looking, and I was looking. I was like, I can't find me anywhere. All I see is this blonde doll. Oh, I get, because I didn't used to shade the hair. So since Randy Mulholland had drawn me as blonde, I was like, oh crap. I guess it looks like I'm blonde. So I started shading in all the hair, even though I am not actually redhead. I cheat. I used to be a bottled redhead. Okay, so I got these. Make sure I... Oh, no, out. Zoom. Oh, there we go. I'm going to do the background. I'm going to put some black in here. Let's see. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of arc. Like this arc that takes up the background. Even though that would look really cool with some of this angel. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And I'm going to put in more of a rectangle. So I'm going to put the shape in the background. Okay, I think the chat is kind of stuck. Oh, David said that it must have been fun reporting the stolen bloody dress. I didn't, yeah, well, we didn't realize because the neighbor had noticed them carrying a duffel bag, but we couldn't remember owning a blue duffel bag up until I went to look for my LARP gear like a month or 12 later. I think I like this. Yeah, okay, making sure that I have dynamic intersects. Intersects. Oh, English language. Pshaw. And maybe I want... Do I want this? No, I think I want all one. I would really like a really sharp angle on this one. So I think I'm going to cheat a little bit and put it here. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I like that. Alright, so that's going to be the background shape. I'm going to merge this, lock it so I don't draw on it. I'm going to ditch my big line file layer there. Save. Oh, Celtic Knot was introduced to Devil's Panties through Gibas, which I do need. Gibas is never dead, it just falls into comas a lot. So I do have bunches of Gibas that I need to just sit down and draw once I'm done with book 8. And I want to build up like a year's worth of buffer just to see if I can try to improve some of the jokes, the quality of the comic. So now I've got this layer of white that I'm going through with an eraser and I'm erasing it. And so when I get down to that shape that I put into the background, so I'm erasing the white that's on top of it. And then when we come in contact with the shape, there we go. The shape just comes out. So if I mess up, I don't have to work around the inks or anything. That's on a separate layer. God. Okay, there we go. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Oh, cool. Serenity's tagged me for the Pearl Jam thing later. Thank you very much for posting that. Ooh, Serenity said some LARP accidental racism, which I had a lot of fun. I went out as a Cobalt, and about 3 o'clock in the morning, they stopped sending monsters out. And so they sent me out as a monster at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just stayed out because everybody had gone to bed. So I was at the loopy hour in the loopy tree throwing the loopy fruit. And I started telling everybody that they just didn't like me because they were racist. Not that I was LARPing as a monster that's supposed to get killed, because that's the whole point of playing one of the monsters, is so that the other fighters have something to attack. And so I'll usually go out as like a feminist nymph. You guys are just, what was it? You're intimidated by a strong woman, is what it is. That star isn't happening. Okay. Got that background in there. So apparently the dark elves are more of a blue-gray. Yeah, but the original D&D was coal black with white hair. Yeah, back before, you know, political correctness. Okay, then. I think I've caught up with, it's probably stuck again. Come on, chat room. Okay. I bet you we've got about 10 more minutes, not counting lag. And, okay, so we're gonna do this again next month, towards the end of the month. And a week before, I'm gonna try to post. Are you guys okay with, do we still have 8 people? All 8 comments. No, I have no idea how many people we have in the room. So I try to shoot for 8:30 because it's when the sun goes down, and so we can get the lighting right. So we cheat for that. But, oh, and I do, I try to not do Friday so I don't intersect with Lars' live stream. So, I'm gonna shoot for another Wednesday. Do we like Wednesday? How's this time working for you guys? Pardon me. Burrito. That does the best burps. Okay. I'm so ticked off, I'm molting. So in middle school, Fern Gully came out, and it had Christian Slater in it. And so we memorized the movie. But for the longest time, Robin Williams was my favorite. And so we quoted all of the Robin Williams lines. Human tails? Humans don't have tails. They have big, big bottoms that they wear bad, bad shorts and walk around going, "Hi, Helen." Red light. Red light again. I know where I am. I know where I am. Which was just surprisingly appropriate. Most of the Most of the lines fit with our daily lives. Why do I not believe you? Alright, so I got all the background. I kind of want to put in more fuzz. There you go. I feel like the first panel should have some black in the background. I don't want to. I don't need to do color because this is going in the book. So I think I'm done. Yeah. I'm gonna snip some of these word balloon tails because they poke out a little awkwardly. Let me make sure that this, there we go. Do that, snip that. I wish I could snip those. It's just a little snip. There we go. Okay. I would color in the angel and the devil, but this is just going in book 8. So book 8 has a lot of work to do. I wanted to get it done before Dragon Con. I don't know if that'll happen because I have 40 bonus comics to do. It takes me about 3 hours to do each comic. 3 times 40, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 100. So I have 120 hours to do, as well as the comic, the daily comic, to try to get, no comments on Twitter, to try to get all the comics done for book 8, and then I still have to do all the editing to make sure that's good, and I still have the games in the back of the book. We've got a Connect the Dots, and we've got Paint by Numbers, and I'm going to get some word games in there and some mazes. So we're going to have the games in the back of the book along with the photos, because in all the books there's a crap ton of bonus material. There's about 10 pages of reference material and all the pictures that I took that I did the comics of. Yeah, I've got all that saved. Okay, we're good. So we're going to do this again in a month at 8:30, middle of the week. What do you think? Would you guys rather do weekend? I wonder if weekend is better for people, because this is late at night for, holy crap, in England. I don't even want to think about what time it is. I don't think I can do that math. Maybe it's in the middle of the day for you. It's probably 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. It might still be light out for you, for all that I know, for mathness. Okay, so there's 10 people in the, oh neat. Okay, don't do Tuesday. Oh, classic D&D on Tuesday, Serenity, I'm jealous. Last time I did tabletop was with my family, I think, and I know enough to say don't touch the snake around the treasure chest. Nothing in that treasure chest is worth waking the snake up, because paranoia is good. Let's see, any questions? Celtic Knot says, as an event runner, they doesn't like the idea of a throwaway monster. Throwaway monsters are fun. I go out and I'm like, give me the stupidest monster possible so I can go out and be ridiculous. I went out as a giant squirrel once and pretended to be addicted to the nicotine from the smoker areas. The guys were a little weirded out when I borrowed a cigarette and then came back and gave it back and said, I don't actually smoke, I was just LARPing, role-playing. And they went, wait a minute, you asked for a cigarette in-game? What were you? I said a giant squirrel. So yeah, you see the retroactive acting trying to take effect. Making sure I get all the comments. And I'm also procrastinating to make sure that the lag catches up before I say goodbye. Okay, I'm going to switch over to this. There we go. I just do that. Alright. He's staring at the side of my face. Oh, Susan, go to bed. Go to bed. Her bed is calling her. Oh, maybe I went in the wrong direction. Is it 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3? Is it 3 a.m.? Might be 3 a.m. there. Why, I think it's 5 hours off. It might be 8 hours off. Samantha says it's 5 hours off. Okay, I think it's bedtime for everybody. Okay, so David Blake says Wednesday is usually my day, canceled tonight. Oh, for D&D night. Okay, so maybe not Wednesday. I wonder if, should we do a Saturday next month? Or a Tuesday? Although I usually walk the mountain on Tuesdays. We shall see what happens. Do suggestions on Twitter or Patreon. Mostly I take Patreon suggestions. I take Patreon suggestions for the drawing, but if there's a night of the week that's better for you for the live stream, let me know and I'll try to take that into account. Okay, we're going to finish this up because it is 10:08 p.m. here on the East Coast, and don't know how to keep this from, what do we think the lag is, 30 minutes? 30 seconds? Because if I press off, it's going to cut me off. So I'm going to sit here awkwardly, see if I can get the lag to show up, to catch up, before I press the button. Okay. Okay.